Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. In the news.co.au, Daniel Elsa asks, "We've got a mystery on our hands. Where has Meghan gone?" Not the Duchess of Sussex, who is now on Instagram posting cutesy-tootsy family shots with the regularity of a Swiss watch armed with a marketing spreadsheet. Not the woman who is intent on ensuring the whole world knows how dang authentic she is, twerking her way into the news. And not the Duchess, who now has a side hustle doing podcasts talking about how her spirit was stifled by certain unnamed forces who might know their way around a crumpet fork. Where has Cool Meghan gone? The big news in Sussexland is that come today, the Duchess as Ever business will release a rosé made from the Napa Valley grapes. And it might be bigger news if this was not exactly the same thing that a parade of starry names have already done. You know who else sells their own rosé? Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, Kylie Minogue, Brad Pitt, John Legend, Sarah Jessica Parker, Dave Matthews, John Malkovich, Jon Bongiovi, Sting and Trudie Styler, Post Malone, Snoop Dogg and Mr Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade. From the very first minute, Meghan turned a corner in Toronto and appeared at the 2017 Invictus Games to make her palace-sanctioned debut as Prince Harry's girlfriend. She heralded her intention to eagerly break molds. What did she wear for this history book moment? Ripped jeans, a perfect white shirt, and carrying an every gold tote like she might need her laptop later. It was perfect, and it was thrilling. She started as she meant to go. However, at some point in the years since then, that creative, rule-bucking Meghan has been replaced by one whose creative and professional endeavours are more of the stale variety. The former actress is now hawking honey. Charles has been doing this since 2008 when he opened his own Highgrove bricks-and-mortar shop in Tetbury. The money all goes to the charitable King's Trust Foundation. Now, Meghan is set to sell vino 16 years after Charles to offer punters the chance to spend the equivalent of $98 on the same sparkling wine he served at home. The official Highgrove product line now includes an own-brand English sparkling rosé, and in 2020, Buckingham Palace announced their own gin. Social media manager Caitlin Jardine told the Daily Mail, "Meghan Markle's decision to launch her very own rosé as part of her As Ever collection is a deliberate move towards the evolution of her brand, establishing herself as her brand within the luxury and lifestyle product industry. The launch of her As Ever rosé wine suggests that Meghan is looking to create a more aspirational adult lifestyle offering, one that aligns with leisurely sophistication and the social status that wine often represents. However, having already associated herself with all things wellness, this could alienate some of her fan base who feel as though she is going against her core wellness-centered brand image, different to her existing line of products, with the potential to contradict her values around mindful living. What it does do is add versatility to her current line of As Ever products, reflecting a more modern, balanced lifestyle. Rather than one that is more rigid and clean, it reflects one that is more in tune with her diverse audience and how they live. Jardine noted that in the past, Meghan has faced criticism from the public about her lack of relatability and thinks this new line of rosé could help recover her image. In The Standard, Sam Wilson writes, "If you ask me, the most delicious thing she made was the mistake of inadvertently confirming what surely many of us suspected, that the Duchess is a wealthy person with main character syndrome role-playing what she imagines life to be like for the plebs. Proof that even with so much time on her hands to dream up what she fancies doing, she seemingly still can't be asked, and so phones it in. This wine is sourced similarly close to home to the jam, a mere 6-hour drive away. Why here? Markle wanted to work with the Fairwinds estate, which was all but destroyed in the 2020 wildfires. A nice move, granted, as according to the Daily Mail, she wanted to lean in and help a California business rebuild. But Fairwinds is hardly a small-time producer. Since the fires, devastating, true, the place pivoted to producing wines for celebrities. On their books are Barry Manilow and the TV show Yellowstone. They even make wines for sports teams. So was this deliberate choice by Markle to show support for a once-beleaguered producer? Or did she just look up places that bottle wine for the famous? It begs the question, how involved with the wine do you actually want Markle to be? Is she really the person whose taste you trust? It's not as though with Love Meghan, the live, laugh, love of TV shows, as the Standard put it, revealed her to be a master in the kitchen. One of her recipes was to add olive oil to hummus. At another point, she said, "Good night, sweetheart," as she put a cake in the oven. You can see her now in the vineyards, pirouetting between the grapes and whispering words of projected earnings. Perhaps Meghan's eye for detail isn't all it's cracked up to be either, with the launch date for the wine being July 1st, the same July 1st that would have been the 64th birthday of Princess Diana. The same Princess Diana, who would have been her mother-in-law had she not been killed by a drunk driver. In The Independent, Hannah Twiggs writes, "First came the jam, then the flower sprinkles, and now Meghan Markle has turned her attention to something a little more grown up, rosé." Cue the eye rolls, of course, because if there's one thing more predictable than celebrities releasing wine, it's the reflexive backlash when Meghan does, well, anything. She could invent a cure for jet lag and people would still say she's attention-seeking. But here's the thing, Meghan isn't doing anything new. In fact, she's late to the party. Celebrity wine is no longer a novelty, it's a full-blown category. A supermarket aisle of famous faces turned vintners. From Francis Ford Coppola to Kylie Minogue, Sam Neill to Sarah Jessica Parker, Graham Norton to Snoop Dogg, there's scarcely a walk of fame left untouched by fermentation. What do a Jurassic Park actor, a former Neighbours star, and the Dogfather all have in common? Would make an excellent pub quiz question. Answer, they all sell rosé. It's a weapon of choice for the celebrity winemaker. Pastel, photogenic and perfectly pitched to the lifestyle-curious shopper who might not know malolactic fermentation from their elbow, but knows they trust Kylie more than they trust Chateau something or other from somewhere they can't pronounce. In this context, Meghan's move makes total sense. She's curated a personal brand built on soft-focused domesticity, organic lemons, and that elusive notion of authenticity. Rosé slots in neatly beside all that. It's light, it's pretty, it's shareable. It has Instagram appeal and dinner party versatility. Frankly, the only surprise is it's taken her this long. You know who Meghan is. You might have watched Suits. You might even like her jam. So when you're standing in the supermarket wondering which rosé to pick up for the weekend and her bottle winks at you from the shelf, you reach for it. So yes, Meghan's rosé will sell. People will snipe. But in truth, she's just the last in a long procession of famous faces trying their hand at the grape. Some will accuse her of chasing profit. Others will say she's chasing credibility. Most likely, she's chasing the same thing every celebrity is, relevance. Or hey, maybe she just likes wine. Don't we all? More palace in just a moment. Meghan is reportedly feeling stung after being left off the guest list for Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's extravagant wedding celebration in Venice, a glittering event that drew A-list attendees including Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner and Sydney Sweeney, but not the Duchess of Sussex. According to Radar Online, Meghan had hoped to receive an invitation to the multi-million-dollar affair, which some insiders say she viewed as an important moment to reaffirm her place among Hollywood's elite. One source told the outlet, Meghan is reeling after not receiving an invitation. She considers herself more famous and important than guests such as the Kardashians. The snub comes amid speculation that the Sussexes are slipping from the center of Hollywood's social orbit. The situation has reportedly left Meghan frustrated, with some sources going so far as to suggest she envies Lauren Sanchez's life and social positioning. That just rubs salt in the wound, said one insider. Complicating matters further, there's also growing speculation that some celebrities may be keeping their distance from the Sussexes to avoid alienating the wider royal family. PR strategist Ron Tarosian pointed to the radio silence that followed Meghan's gifting of her limited edition jam jars. Despite reportedly sending them to friends like Oprah Winfrey and the Clooneys, there was no public acknowledgement, a detail some see as evidence of cooling relationships. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. A reminder to check out another show from Caleroga Shark Media, Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. It's all about the biggest feuds going on in the world right now, from Elon and Trump to Baldoni and Lively. But this week it's Harry and Meghan and the royal family. Check it out. Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.